Hello everyone. Welcome to this late follow-up video. I apologize. It's like half a week late. I don't know what happened. I'm terrible at keeping up with my schedule on this. So this is a follow-up for Bluebell Knoll, which I listened to, or I released the video on the 26th of August. I don't remember when I listened to it. But this is just kind of a follow-up about where I am at, my, thoughts about the album after time has passed and the dust has settled. Great album. Quite easily my second favorite Cocteau Twins album. Possibly a recent listen might be contesting that. It's tough because Treasure and Heaven in Las Vegas are tied for my favorite, and then this just recently became tied for my second favorite. But great songs on this thing. It doesn't really strike a really strong personality to me, which is kind of the issue. Like, I see Treasure as like the quintessential goth side of Cocteau Twins. That's like, kind of like Queen is Dead. It's like you hit your peak and it's like, boom, that was like the best of all of what you were come together, like with the Smiths. And Treasure is like that with the early goth side, because I think it was their third album of Cocteau Twins. And then Heaven in Las Vegas is kind of their quintessential dream pop side to me. But this is a really nice in-between of those two sides. Bluebell Knoll opening track, really interesting, and I love the climax about halfway through. Athol-Brose is okay, I don't come back to it a lot, but it's a fine song. Carolyn's Fingers is one of my favorites on it. I'd love just like that kind of like pop rock aspect to it. It's got a little bit of a jangle aspect as well. Really nice track. For Phoebe Still a Baby, it's kind of I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure, but it's a really underrated track to me. It just kind of keeps getting better the more I listen to it. It's very subdued. Same with 2 tracks later, Seco Buff. That's almost like quintessential Cocteau Twins to me. Just the vibe that it gives, the melodies, it's just like, that is Cocteau Twins. Between those two is the Itchy Glow Blow. I can never say it. Not a favorite. Also not a favorite is Suckling the Mender and Spooning Good Singing Gum. There's a certain brand of Cocteau Twins track that just is like, the production is kind of flat and sterile, and the dynamics aren't really there. Like all of the mixing is like very flat. All of the instruments sound kind of equal, and it just kind of launches up and then goes for the whole song, and then it stops. And especially with Garland's, a little bit with Head Over Heels had that issue as well for me. And some of the tracks on here kind of do that. Not to a horrible degree, but it's just they're not my favorites on here. And then A Kissed Out Red Float Boat I like, and Ella Mega Last Girls Forever is a really solid closing track. It's a great album. Really good. Like I said, tied for my second favorite. It's probably the best album between Treasure and Heaven or Las Vegas chronologically. Because The Moon and the Melodies has solid tracks, but it has like kind of a structural tone problem. And then Victoria Land is almost just a completely different album to me altogether. I don't even really hardly consider that to be a Cocteau Twins record, just because of like where the band was at that time, what they were doing, and just the tone and the atmosphere of the album. It's very ambient, very sparse, almost minimalist to a degree. It's just not quite like anything they've done before. Or since, to what I've heard. But yeah, love Bluebell Knoll. Solid album. And that is my follow-up to Bluebell Knoll. Thank you guys for watching. Godspeed.